Okay, just share the screen. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so now thank you so much, Ms. Catherine and Ms. Hamid, for giving us this platform to share our experiences and on this topic. So today we are going, and thank you everyone, all my peers, colleagues, and wonderful LSAs and brilliant professionals on this platform today. So for sparing their valuable time and coming on this platform and joining us. So now today we are actually focusing on effective strategies to support the children having social, emotional, and mental health needs within the classroom environment, that is in inclusive mainstream classrooms. So we will be focusing our presentation on that, and we will be sharing some more strategies, and we will be making it more engaging, and we'll be asking you a few questions as well. So starting from my first slide, I just want to play this video, and then you can tell me the idea behind that is I just want to know your answers. That can you tell me the condition of this child and what barriers do you think that this child is experiencing, and do you notice while after I stop this video? So here is a look. I'll make it. Here it goes. Wait, I'll make it full screen.
Man, when I look at that kid, it's hard to believe that that was actually me. I definitely struggled through that time. I was so angry, felt so alone. It was so hard to make friends. But to tell you the truth, I probably wasn't much fun to be around. I definitely found schoolwork so much harder than most people. Every year I struggled, and it just felt like it was harder and harder to keep up. And there were people, they tried to reach out to me, and I wasn't very nice to them. I just lost control. I just felt so isolated. Yeah, things started to change when I hit year 5. You know, my teacher, she just made such a difference. I knew she liked me even though she pulled me up when I did something wrong. She was always happy towards me and smiling and showed an interest in me. She definitely noticed that I needed something extra than the other kids. So, my teacher ended up calling my parents. She got us booked in with the counsellor, who really listened and got my parents and teacher to understand what was going on with me. Yeah, I don't know what would have happened if my teacher hadn't stepped in when she did. The counsellor was cool.
Okay. So can I ask our lovely forum that what could be the reason for it? Like what do you think that the learning challenges or barriers to learning, and what condition do you think that the child is going through?
Just put it in the chat if you don't want to say something, but I think somebody's raised their hand.
Okay. So
Rubina's raised her hand. Rubina, you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I think the child is suffering from, like, he actually doesn't know what's going on. Like, for example, how to play, how to initiate a talk or, group activity with his friends or anything. So I think he's struggling for that, due to which he's getting frustrated and he's having behavior issues with that. So if any adult explain him how to talk or initiate or, as a group work, how to do it, so that will be a very helpful for him to be calm, and it will be very helpful for him.
Okay. So can we say that he's going through some emotional turmoil, or there is no regulation over his emotions? or he's
Yeah,
okay.
definitely he's going through with the emotional, because he doesn't know what exactly it's happening with him. So he needs to describe him. So we need to show him visual aids to explain his feelings, what exactly
Okay.
is happening. So with that visual aids, he will be able to express himself, so that adult can help him out for this.
So perhaps you are trying to say that there is not much self-awareness with the child, that he's not
Exactly.
aware of what is happening, and there is no
Yes.
social awareness, and then there
Yes.
is no how to respond to emotions, how to control it. Okay, that's
Yes.
fine. That's
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Any more? Uh, anyone else who wants to share what they think about the child and what is the barrier to learning, or what challenges do you notice? Okay. Ramya Anish raised a hand.
Yeah, I feel that basically he's not getting the acceptance that he wants or he wishes from others. So because of that, nobody is ready to listen to him. Nobody is there to be a part of his conversation or to understand his problems. That's why he just keeps falling back because he feels he's not needed in the society or something.
Okay, very good. That's a good one. So that means again that is a kind of a that due to which he's not able to regulate his emotions, due to which he's not able to comprehend that how to respond when such acceptance is not there, and there is no decisive decision making from his side that how to respond to it and what to do at that particular time. So that's really good. Anyone else wants to try? Then I will move to the presentation. Yes, he's not able to express. That's true. Expression is not there. Not no. Only his body language is expressing that he's annoyed and doesn't want to interact. So yes, he's not able to express. Okay, fine. Most of yes, absolutely. I would say thank you so much. Agony. Yes, exactly. I really want to thank for the wonderful replies and responses I'm getting. It's also helping me to learn better. Yes. Sensory problem. Yeah, very much close to it. He might or he might not have, but yes. Okay, that's great. Okay. Thank you so much. Now I'm starting with the presentation. Thank you so much for your responses. So yes, all the responses that we received, it's absolutely right. He's not able to express. The self-awareness is not there. The acceptance, managing the social, emotional emotions and regulation, and how to regulate those emotions, how to respond. So we are going to discuss today about how to support children having social, emotional, mental health needs to achieve social and emotional regulation and removing those barriers that will help them to, gel, to accommodate themselves within the classrooms, and the learning also takes place at the same time. Now, as we all are professionals working in different schools, and we are learning each day and supporting different children having complex and diverse needs. So yes, we have to be effective. So we have to start with becoming a caring, connected, responsible, and a contributing problem solver. So I have used this signal like think, stop, and go. So stop, calm down, and think before you act. Say the problem and how you feel it, set a positive goal, think of lots of solutions, then think ahead the consequences, go ahead and try the best plan. So I think that we all are able enough, and we have to strive to achieve a caring, connected, and responsible attitude when we are at the workplace, and continuously strive to be a problem solver. Now, let's move ahead. Now, young children, especially the early years, who have difficulties with emotional and social development, may find it hard to make and maintain appropriate and healthy relationships, regulate their emotions. You may also witness withdrawn behavior like we saw in the video. So there are some points to note that they may have a challenging disruptive behavior or overactive behavior because they are not able to respond to each and every emotion, or they are not getting the right acceptance. So you may experience this kind of challenging and disruptive behavior, and those behaviors will be persistent and may indicate mental health issues such as anxiety or depression. That becomes the reason for their anxiety. They get panic, and it may result to depression if we don't give the right intervention. Now, the fact remains that we have to acknowledge that the behavior of the child is the first way of communicating that something is not met, like my needs, or you're not able to address my needs, so it's not met, so you have to address that particular need. So this is the way they communicate through their body language, whether they do it intentionally or not, but they are communicating that their needs are not met. Now, some points to note. It is important, again, that I also mentioned it before, that early intervention and early support to prevent it further escalating. Like, these problems can become a major problem if the right intervention and support is not given. So it is important that we plan the early intervention and support for the children who are experiencing the social, mental health problems. And if not addressed at that time, it can lead to really severe condition, or it will go out of your hand. Now, certain individuals and groups are more at risk of developing mental health problems. These risks can relate to the child themselves, to their family, community, or life events. It's very self-explanatory. Young children can develop emotional mental health needs. Yes, there can be other reasons also. I'm not saying that these are the reasons, but there can be other reasons also where the social, emotional, and mental health needs, because of those reasons, it is affecting their social, mental health, and emotional health. So that's the reason why I have put it here. It can be due to other learning needs like autism, ADHD, pervasive developmental disorder. So these disorders or needs can have a profound impact on the social and mental health needs. It may and it may not. So I'm just putting it that these might be the reasons sometimes. So it can happen because of the autism, ADHD, pervasive development. Some children are autism spectrum, so they are experiencing related disorders related to the spectrum. So that's why they might experience these social mental health problems. Okay. Also, there is a medically unexplained condition which I was reading as being reluctant to speak. So there can be a medical unexplained condition as well. Sometimes we think it is because of this reason, but we actually don't know. And there might be some condition or unexplained condition that we don't know, but you tend to experience all those things. Now, just let me know if I'm audible and it's clear.
Yes, Rohit, you're perfectly clear.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Thank you. So now, moving further, the young children need support for most of the following. First, managing frequent inappropriate behaviors that occur in one or more than one setting. Like maybe they are, you will experience the behavior which is not appropriate or desired in the classroom, or maybe outside in the field, or maybe at the drawing art room or something. So they need support for managing those behaviors, because you might not know what could be the trigger at that particular time, because maybe in one setting the environment is too overwhelming for the child that he's not able to cope up with that. In another setting, he's not getting that peer support, or he's not able to develop those relationship skills with the peers or his classmates, so he's not able to cope up with that unacceptance, where he's not getting the right right motivation to interact. So That's why it is difficult to manage those behaviors in one or more than one setting. Now, listening to and following instructions, that is the most important thing. Like whether he's able to listen and follow the instructions properly, whether he is in that frame of mind, whether what kind of like maybe there might be some instances that might happen at home or maybe some other place which is creating a trouble in his mind. So is he able to respond to your instructions and following it properly while settling and starting a task or completing the task? So that is one area again where he needs consistent support. He needs a guided intervention. He needs the LSA or who's the teacher with their joint coordination. They have to address those concerns and have to see that what is the problem there and then address those issues, because following instruction and listening is the most important part as and when for the learning to happen. Now, sustaining concentration, again, when the mind of the child is distracted, he knows in his mind that, okay, I'm not accepted here. Whatever I may do, or he's not able to express himself. There is lack of self-awareness. There is lack of social awareness. There is lack of he cannot cope up with the environment that he is at home, at school. So definitely his concentration will always be distracted. His mind will always stay distracted, and he will not be able to absorb the knowledge that is happening in the class. Now, completing tasks successfully. Now, this is a very important thing. When he's not getting that support in the classroom, or he's not feeling accepted, so it is very difficult to complete such task within the group, or if it is a group activity, so definitely he will find it difficult. It will be really, really difficult for the LSA or for the support to the support system to actually address this issue. If he is not feeling that, you have to address it first. Completing tasks within the group, it takes a lot, like working together in a group. So you might have to model it. You might have to teach him, which we will discuss in the later part of the presentation. So these are some areas which the child needs support. Okay. Now, another areas and points to note that developing the emotional resilience to find solutions and recognizing, understanding his or her own feelings and behaviors that I already talked about. Now, verbalizing the reasons for his own feelings and behaviors, that is difficult because he doesn't know, the child doesn't know how to verbalize the reasons for it. He's totally lost. He's not able to understand what is happening with him. He's having a withdrawn behavior. It's totally disconnected. So verbalizing those reasons is a key here. Now, managing anxiety, again, I was talking about managing the anxiety level. If he's feeling panicked, he's not ready. Of course, he's not ready. So developing the ability to reflect on situations and find alternative behaviors. This is where you have to come in. The LSA has to come in and pitch in his skills and his knowledge, or through some activity or some, whatever is best suited as per the need of the child. So first you have to make the child relax and, calm down him so that his anxiety is not there. Developing social problem solving skills, definitely. It comes from the social awareness. So definitely the social problem solving skills will only make sense when the child starts interacting with the class, with his peers, and with the group that he is in. Accepting praise and showing pride in their achievements. Now, this is another thing. Once the child starts acknowledging the praise, that's the area where you can reinforce that behavior. Because right now he doesn't know what is praise. Like he doesn't know how to accept that praise and how to show pride in their in his or her achievements after he completes the task, or after he completes the desired task that you have set for that child. So accepting praise will only come when you will reinforce, when you model it, when you show him, when you teach him. So that will come later on. So it's important that these areas, the LSA the teacher and every support giver has to focus upon. Learning from constructive criticism, that also comes slowly and steadily. Difficulties in developing social skills, self-esteem and sense of belonging. It's very much self-explanatory, so I will move ahead. Now, other factors to consider and look out for. Now, apart from all these points that I have discussed, this is very important point that what is happening out of the school, that also has an impact on the young person's, young child's social, emotional, and mental health. How the young person feels about themselves as a learner. So these are some areas where the LSA has to go deep into, that what is the environment of the child when he's not in school, when he's at home, when he's at other place, maybe at his relative's place, or maybe at some place. What is happening with that child, whether he's getting that social, that positive social stimulant, emotional stimulant, which is driving him, which is giving him that motivation. Okay, I have to develop certain skills, I have to develop that gives him the more self-awareness. So is it happening there, or it is still, or he still feels disconnected, or the environment is much worse than the school? Then it becomes the yes, relationship with others, how he reacts socially and academically. So that is some areas where other special education needs, whether he's going through other special education needs, or he's having a reading problem, or he's having listening problem, he's not able to pay attention, is he having really a behavior, is he having his behavior is not up to the like it's not acceptable, and he's not able to control that. So there can be other special education needs which can lead to certain situations, and he's not able to cope up with it. Now, after this, for any learning and for any knowledge that the child can absorb in school, I would like to talk about how it works for providing any effective support that you are thinking. So it works when there is social and emotional learning. It is a process of acquiring knowledge and skills related to 5 core competencies. These 5 core components is necessary for social and emotional learning, which I talked about already: self-awareness, that is recognize one's emotions, values, strengths, and limitations; manage emotions and behaviors to achieve one's goals, that is self-management; show understanding and empathy for others, that is social awareness; relationship skills, from positive relationships, work in teams, deal effectively with conflict. These are called relationship skills. Now, the other thing is responsible decision making, make ethical, constructive choices about personal and social behavior. So these 5 components are prerequisite, is absolutely necessary for any social and emotional learning to take place. Once it starts, then the other learning and other absorption of knowledge and other things he can start learning. First, these 5 areas has to be addressed consistently and with much deliberation. Now, a simplified framework for enhancing student success in school and life. So as I mentioned, all these core components: teach and model specific social and emotional learning skills, that we have to do it. Plus, improve the climate and learning environment. We have to improve, we have to work upon the climate and learning environment for the child, so that he can easily adapt to it. He feels secure, he feels safe, he feel accepted, and he feel that, yes, I have to learn. That should come from within. Once the environment becomes acceptable for him, once the environment becomes he becomes according to his need, so he definitely will respond. So this will lead to the positive results for the children. Okay, now moving forward, coordinated effort, it is must. Coordinated school, family, and community. Social and emotional learning takes place when the learning environment is appropriate, the skills that we are imparting, the instruction is clear, then it leads to the social and emotional skill acquisition. The attitude, there will be a change in the attitude, improved attitudes will be there, and it will result to positive social behavior. It will result to fewer conduct problems. It will result to less emotional distress, and it will definitely result to the academic success. It's all interrelated. That's why the coordinated effort is must. And to achieve that, we have to work, all the school, family, caregivers, and community can come together, or can work in a coordinated effort, in a coordinated way, so that I know sometimes it becomes really difficult. It is sometimes becomes like it's not possible. But yes, once we start moving towards that, we will find solutions. We will find the ways out that how we can create this coordinated effort, coordinated work approach for the child. Now, let's move forward. Again, what are the benefits of social and emotional learning? Now, research says, and a lot of academicians have written in their articles or journals that good science links social emotional learning to the following student gains. It helps social emotional skills, improved attitudes about self, others, and school, positive classroom behavior, 11 percentile. Okay, these are some achievement points. In some of the schools, we get achievement points for that. For the child gets achievement points for it. Now, it will reduce the risk for failure, that is conduct problems, aggressive behavior, and emotional distress. So these are the benefits of social and emotional learning. Once it starts happening, once we focus and address all those 5 components in an effective way, your strategies will start giving you the results. Now I would like my friend Niha to take over from here and talk about the effective strategies and activities that you can plan for the child.
Hi everyone. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Yeah, loud and clear. Thank you.
Yeah. Ramadan Mubarak to you all. I hope you all are doing good. So let me introduce myself. I am Niha Parveen. I'm working in Inclusion department as a learning support. I'm glad to be a part of Inclusion team, and I have got this opportunity to share my experience with you all. Thank you so much once again for an amazing support. Thank you, Ms. Catherine. Thank you, Ms. Harmeet, for giving this platform. Thank you everyone to joining us. So let's continue as Mr. Rohit explained us about what is social and emotional learning. As we are now aware of 5 components that he was speaking about. So may I know what are the 5 components he was talking about? Anyone?
You can write it in the chat and then we can have a read. It's okay, you can't remember. Maybe Rohit, you want to just mention what they are again?
So
it
is about self-awareness.
Yeah, go ahead, Neha.
Okay, self-management, responsible of decision-making, relationship skills, and social awareness, right? So let's go one by one on effective strategies for support and activities for emotional development. As we all know, a child learns in the best way when there is a good mental health, good social emotional well-being. That would be the best part for the child, right? So let's begin. Okay. So the first strategies, the activities which we would take, like personally I have taken, and I have seen in schools and in the classrooms, like they create a feeling, like display in the classrooms, like feeling trees or emoji boards, which says that the child can express their emotions, like what they are feeling. Like the teachers, sometime the morning time, they will tell them that, okay, what are you feeling now? So go and place your photos or emojis about it. So I want to ask you, like, just that is enough, like to keep a chart behind the classroom and just to know that the child is feeling low or feeling excited? No, we need to keep a track on it. We need to know that, we need to collect the data on it, because as we will be knowing, like in a weekly base or a monthly base, that the child was facing, every morning he was coming to the school, he was having a good mood, like he was always smiling. But as soon as afternoon, again the teacher plays the same activity, feeling activity, that emoji board game, the child feels sad, and he feels exhausted. So what happens? What do we know by this? Like, okay, there is something, maybe he got bullied in the class, or maybe he felt like he was not getting engaged when other children were. So we need to keep a track on it. Maybe it will continue tomorrow. So it's like we are not gonna keep every time the track, and we will wait for like until the next month or until the week that we'll go and ask the child. No, we will ask the child the same time, like, okay, why you were feeling upset. The teachers need to keep the track, and it's a 5 minutes of the activity, but we need to make sure that the teachers or an LSA, as an LSA, we need to see or ask the kids like, okay, why are you feeling low, what is happening. Okay, so the next one is Mr. Rohit, can you just put the slide
Yeah,
down?
sure. Wait.
Okay, the next activity is paper chains. In this activity, where the child can have the daily routine about spreading kindness. So the paper chain, where we can loop their strips together and make a chain together and show the kindness, like to be polite, to smile, or to say someone thank you, and kindness, kind words, which will help a child to give a daily routine of the child. And there is one more, a scribble art. Sometimes we just need to get the scribble out also. Teach the child how to hold one and many drawing pencils together and scribble all over the blank sheets on the paper. This sometimes, as me being an adult, I do that. Like when I get exhausted, I take the pencils and I scribble it all over my paper. Like, okay, sometimes we lost, we don't know what we exactly feel. So this could be the great activity which we can give the child to do. An artist can use the scribble paper to create a sketchbooks over and bookmarks.
Exactly. Wait.
Helping hands. So what is helping hand? This activities also, most of the schools are taking this activities, encouraging the students like to know like what child can help. Like, is that some kids like are good in reading, and the peer we can engage them and make them utilize it for further, like, okay, you can help the other child reading, or help the teacher to open the presentation for her. Or sometimes the children say that I love to help my mother or help the teacher. So this is the helping hand. The children will put their hand, trace it, and write it about it, what they are good in. So that's very important to know. I am self-portrait, having students reflect on their own amazing character. So we portray good outside, but what we feel inside, it's invisible, we don't know. We need to understand, this is the it's the unique thing which everyone has. So it can be sadness, it can be a feeling which is like I'm being silent for the whole day, and no one knows that, like why I'm sad and what makes me sad. So we need to be so sure that this uniqueness, it should be addressed. We should know like why is the child feeling so, because if we don't know the emotions, the child will never be able to learn. The child will not be happy, then the child will not learn anything. So make sure that whenever the child is upset, don't give any task, ask the child, stay calm, relax, then go with the task, because that's very important. The next one is yeah.
I just want to mention that whatever activities and strategies we are putting it here, apart from that, we are also discussing the other strategies because it is already visible here. So we are talking about that along with these strategies, there can be other strategies also which can be effective as per the need and as per the situation. So that's why we are just not repeating all these activities which are already here.
Yes, I personally used on activities like make them play educational games like in a pair of two, and to know more and build trust with each other. So the child engage in being together and understand, help each other at the same time. And one more activity was that egg plastic. If you remember the egg plastic, you make the expressions and you tell the child like, okay, what are you feeling? Maybe anger, maybe frustrated, or maybe sad. So there is one more activity like that. And one more activity would be the games which we can play online with the kids, like Kahoot and quizzes. This would be very helpful the child to keep engaged, because most of the time they get bored using paper, pen, pencils. So online activities are very helpful nowadays with the child. And yeah, the strategies to how to support the children with social and mental emotional health needs. Okay, support good communication skills. Set aside time during the day, talking and listening to each other. Involve the child in the circle activities if no other sensory concerns are there. So we see that in early childhood, the kids, they have a circle time. They talk to each other. We know what is happening. Like they express like how was the weekend. Sometimes we don't ask the child like, okay, how was the weekend? They come to school on Mondays and they will be so upset, or we don't know the reason. So the reason might be that they didn't enjoy their weekends. Maybe they wanted something else, and they are not able to express it. So we need to ask as a teacher, as an LSA, to have a good communication skills with the kids, so that they know that there is someone to listen, right? So model good communication skill is also important. Maintaining eye contact with the children, give children the chance to finish speaking before responding. This is very important. We always speak and the teachers keep talking, but then because of the time limits what we have got in the school, and the teacher speaks, but the kids, they don't get time to respond. They raise their hand just to answer the questions, but give them time to speak. Let them speak. Let them finish their speaking, then you respond. Like example, I ask like, Muhammad, you are very quiet today, is everything okay? So as soon as I'm done with my question, I am giving him time to think, respond, and understand. Maybe he's not able to answer us in front of the whole class, but yes, make sure that you ask him one on one, and make him comfortable. Make sure that the child is comfortable where you are asking him the question. Give him the time, the place where you ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just want to add that you need to model that communication skill, whether you can show it through two children, and then you can ask the question and show it to the child who is just sitting next to the to his peers, that this is you are asking that child, are you happy, is there something wrong? So you're also modeling that communication, and the child will respond, yeah, I am happy, I am good, I'm sad, I don't want to work. So in this way you are modeling this communication in front of that child who requires that support. And once you model it, so this child will see, will also try to imitate, will also see that, okay, there is the teacher is it's approaching, and I can develop that relationship with the teacher, I can talk to her. So this is the way how or LSA, so this is the way how you will model first, and then you will approach this the same way to the child, and definitely it's going to work, because the other child responded, they responded in their way which they were feeling. So they responded with their feelings. So here, when you are talking to that child who needs support, definitely when you do it with that child, it is most likely that you will get that response. Or maybe there might be a response through the body language, but he will respond, the child will respond. So you have to model that communication. Okay.
So work together to solve the problems. When discussing the conflict, social problem situations, try to avoid solving the problems for the child. Instead, discuss with the children involved what they could be do differently. So here, we will not step in every time like, okay, I will be solving it for you. Make the child independent. As an LSA, it's really important that your role is to make the child independent. It's not because you keep making him dependent on you, and at the end the child is like lost more. Like, the school, the parents hire you because they want their kids to be independent. That's our main role here. So We need to make sure that the child find a solution to their problems. If not, discuss with them, to ask them like what would be better, what do they want. So, and then correct them if they're wrong. That would be easier for us to help together and solve their problems. Then provides, yeah,
Go
Rohit.
ahead. Yeah, I just absolutely right that working together to solve the problem. That is that's where I want to bring the attention again. That working together. It was asked in the starting of the presentation that working together is a problem. Right? There is no acceptance how the child will work together. So here you have to devise a solution or address this problem, that how the child can work in the group and when there is a conflict, let the other children also participate and do like what they could do differently during that situation, because ultimately
I would like to give one situation here which I came across personally.
Yeah, go ahead.
A child met with an accident which was a severe accident. So he broke his leg and his arms. He couldn't attend the PE classes, and when he see other kids playing outside and he is not able to join them playing in the playground, he feels so lost. I saw tears in his eyes, but he don't want to show it to others. He don't want to show it to the LSA. He don't want to show it to his friend. But there is a feeling which is lost. The next class, if he is having English or maths or any classes, he will not be able to focus. And we cannot take a child inside the class until we know that why we will find a solution to this problem. The BE class, like what we can do it differently. Talking to the school or the child, it's really important, like what we can do differently. Okay, it's okay, like your now the leg is broken, so let's find the solution, what else we can give him the task. So as a school, as a inclusion departments or as a SEND department, even having a disabilities, we need to focus on like what we can do differently for the child, have some
Yes,
different
we have
activities.
some Rubina has raised her hand. Yes.
Yes, yes. Even I like to share a situation,
Yeah,
same
please.
like Neha, how she
Yeah.
said. My student in earlier days, my student was like he was struggling. He got cast on his left hand, and the cast was paining for him, and he was not able to express himself in the class or to the LSA, saying that the cast is paining and it's very itchy inside. So, to which he was having behaviors, he was not able to sit in one place, he was not able to concentrate on the task, he was not at all listening to the instructions, also because something was going on inside his hand that he was not able to express. Later,
Okay.
when we
True, very true. Yeah. So this is the thing, like we need to, because it would affect other behaviors in the classroom. Like the child will be lost and the child will be like upset with this, because just because he was not happy with the P, he is not having any disabilities. Just because he met with an accident, the mood, the whole academic thing get affected here, because the child was met with an accident and he don't find the good resources to play in. So we need to ask the child like, okay, what we can do it differently. So
Exactly.
let the child know the solution to it, because we giving the solution, the child would not be happy. So let's find the solution. Let him have an indoor activities differently.
Exactly, and it goes for all the activities, whether it's a quiz, so, whether they are indulged in a group activity where they are completing a task, solving a quiz, or doing a academic task like related to their subjects, whether it is any other task which is a group activity. So anytime when the conflict arises, it should not be like the only that child who's having this need should be targeted. So the whole group has to come forward. The children, the group, they should accept that child and develop the solutions accordingly, and develop and sort it out that matter within that group. So this will develop the relationship skills. This will develop
All
the
right.
social awareness.
Fantastic for focusing on that area. But I think due to time constraint, let's move on to the other strategies as well.
Okay. So I want to tell that if the relationship with you with the child is good, the child will not feel to share anything. Like you need to make sure that the relationship which you keep with the child, the communication, it's really important. If I feel closed or strong relationship with you, I will share it with you, or else I won't. As an LSA, you need to build a good relationship with the child, a strong relationship to communicate with the child, to know what exactly is going on, right? I will not go randomly and say anyone of like in the classroom or in anyone that any of the teachers maybe like what I'm feeling. I would say to the person who will listen to me, understand me, and feel good about like, okay, I will get the solution from here. So yeah,
let's move to the next one.
And don't pressurize the child. If the child is not comfortable to say, don't force them, don't force them at all. See the right time, and then again make sure that you make sure that the child is relaxed and calm down, and then find a solution to it.
Yes, and then we have the
So,
provide lots of praise. It's
yeah,
already
you
been
need to praise the child and make a good communication skills and problem solving. Always praise, like, okay, because this will increase in the behavior. The child will repeat, child will help and use kind words. So make sure that you praise them, give lots of praise,
and
and
reinforce it. Reinforce the
reinforce.
same
Yeah.
behavior.
So I would like to ask here the last thing, like what happens when one bottle up their feelings inside? Can anyone answer these questions? What happens when one bottle up their feeling? If the child, if the kids, if the overall presentation here is like, if the kids is keeping their feeling inside, what would be the outcome?
You can write it in the chat, or you can raise your, yes, Bhavna. Bhavna, you
The
raise
child
your
can
hand.
have a meltdown. Yeah, the child can have a meltdown. Like he can either go silent, or he or she can have a behavior tantrum. That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Very well said, Bhavna. Very well said.
Yes, thank you, Bhavna.
Yes.
And thank you, Lulia, for your frustration, which is one of the first outcomes of not being able to express. You'll see frustration, very good.
Yes, you feel anxious and worried all the time, right? So you become irritated. Like if we don't know like what is the feeling, what we bottle up, we get irritated. It's happened with the kids. It happens with us. We keep feelings inside and we get irritated. So yeah, we overreact. We overreact with the situations, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, everyone, for their very good responses. And thank you so much, Bhavna. I was looking for that particular response, that whether somebody will point it out, that it will result to the meltdown. So
Yes.
thank you so much for that response. And now this is some effective strategies, very basic strategies that you can apply, apart from which we have just discussed. Like you need to plan, definitely an inclusion support plan has to be there, or individual behavior engagement plan. Definitely an IEP can be tailored to support the young children, their specific needs. LSA support will be required for maintaining progress, definitely with learning and for emotional and social co-regulation. Also, you need to identify the place where the child will sit for activities within the classroom, earmark that place, and create a sitting place for the child, and make sure that all the available resources are there to support his learning and his to support his other learning needs. And remove the clutter from the bench. It should be it should be planned as per, develop a timetable, a modified timetable for activities if he finds it difficult to cope up with the curriculum. So you can develop that as well, and place all the resources to support those activities within that particular sitting area that you have identified for the child. Any support that is needed at lunch times, play times, to help the child to join in, perhaps as part of a small group or with the buddy. It's very self-explanatory that you can develop that support or create a support system during these times to help the child to join in with their buddy and with the small group. So you can promote the peer system and buddy system as well. Risk assessments, most important thing, that when the child, they are experiencing this social and emotional turmoil, so sometimes they become aggressive, so they might hurt others, or they might just provide just be over, like Bhavna mentioned, the meltdown is happening, so he might try to hit someone or something like that. So you have to assess that risk and respond accordingly. The physical environment is foremost and very much prerequisite and very much important for the child. Use the quiet areas to give the young person calm down time. Whether if the school has a sensory room or some other intervention rooms, you can pull out the child and give him time for him to calm down. Ask for a place. Like, this is very very important strategy. Like, ask for a place if possible where the child can work for part of the day in a different environment when needed, because sometimes the child, in order to make the child independent and to gel or to accommodate other class children as well. So sometimes when their class changes, when their section changes, so he will see different kids in that class. So the peers will move to other section or maybe other class. So this will help him to accommodate, to adjust with the environment, and he can, then able to concentrate well. Support, and yes, the transitions have to be given after every activity. It should not be a regular and it should be consistent, but the regular transitions for the activity has to be given. Now, some basic strategies for teaching and learning. A consistent approach has to be there across all teaching staff. Like, they should be informed about it, what you are planning as a LSA, and discuss with them in detail. Use the lead-in time to prepare the young child for changes for the routine. Okay, you have to develop the routine of the child, so you have to work consistently, and you have to develop that routine. Be clear about expectations and use specific strategies consistently. Do not just change strategy every day. It has to be consistent, and you need to have a clear expectations. Rest every point is there. You need to reinforce appropriate behaviors. Again, through praise, celebration, and reward systems, you have to reinforce the appropriate behavior. You have to show that, you have to model it so that the child can follow. And then from the next time, he will definitely, it will be there in his mind, and he will respond accordingly. You have to reinforce the desired behavior and discourage the negative behavior or the bad behavior. Use buddies and peer mentors for support and modeling. Actively support and monitor positive social interaction. Once you monitor and continuously observe the interactions that he's doing, you will definitely see the progress. And you have to be innovative, you have to be assertive, but you have to be you have to develop that relationship with that child so that he understands you and you understand him. So I think that's all for our session today, and thank you so much. If people have some questions, you can ask.
Any questions, anyone? As always, thank you.
Yeah,
that
please
amazing
questions.
Yep. Now, somebody in the chat mentioned zones of emotional regulation. Now, that is something that would be worth while for all of you to explore. Zones of regulation has been really effective in classrooms. So what you can do is you can explore what it actually means and how you can use different colors for children to associate with how they feel. It's honestly worth a read. As usual, this is an amazing presentation. Does anyone have any questions? All right. If you don't, then I'm going to wrap this up. Where can I find this? Lulua is saying, Lulua, what are you looking for? Right, Sheena applied it to her previous student before. Yes, Sheena, I'm aware. Sheena used it in the classroom with her teacher and it was very, very effective. Lulua, are you referring to zones of emotional regulation?
Yes, ma'am. I'm referring to zones of emotional representation. Where can I find the
It's not a presentation. It is actually a whole program. If you just Google zones of emotional regulation, you'll find almost everything that you want on it's just that you have to put it together. It might be worth doing a presentation on the zones of emotional regulation. Sheena, would you like to do one on zones of emotional regulation? It would be very, very effective. I'm putting Sheena on the spot. I know she used it really, really well in the classroom. I'll help you, Sheena. She says, I'm not that confident. I'll help you. Okay. Thank you, both of you. That was amazing. Maybe our next session might be talking about zones of emotional regulation. If any of you here have used it and confident presenting on it, please get in touch with me, get in touch with Miss Catherine, get in touch with anybody at info@incluzun.com. Email us, message me. My number is everywhere now because I keep getting messages from everybody. So I'm quite sure everybody has access to my number. Message me and say, yes, I would like to talk about zones of emotional regulation. Or if anybody has anything that they feel would be of benefit, please feel free to message us. Thank you, Rohit. Thank you, Neha, for an amazing presentation.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank
I'm
you.
going
Thanks
to
for your
end
support,
this.
Miss Harmeet. Without your support, it was impossible. You have
No.
been a support.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Anyone
Thank
can
you
do
so much.
this. I
So
believe that
glad.
any LSAs can do this with your support.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come approach me, ladies and gentlemen. I'll support you. Approach me and I'll tell you, I'll just guide you. You guys have so much of knowledge. Share it with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss Catherine and everyone.
All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please, can we have the slide?
You'll find all the recordings on our website. So please go on to info@Incluzun. Go to incluzun.com and you'll find it there.
Okay. Thanks, Ms. Amit.
Thank
you. Thank you, presenters. Thank you, Ms. Amit.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
I need to replace LSA.
Lulua, are you still here?
Hello? Yes, I do.
Okay, Lulua's left.
Finished?